Hello, how y'all doing? This is my video assessment, and I would like to start off with my two daily realities. The two daily realities I have of myself is self-obsessiveness and laziness. I'm gonna start off with self-obsessiveness because I have a lot of times where I like to boast upon myself first, and I like to think about myself first before I put forth others. And that does not work with a team. When you really just think about yourself, you have to think about others as well. So I know that I have to stop that. I have to stop it. And then as far as laziness goes, I have a bad, what you want to call procrastination. Like for this assignment, I took a long time trying to do this, but I'm doing it. So I'm still overcoming it, but I still had that laziness where I like to push things right before the deadline, and that's bad because I be having a bunch of time to get things done, and so I just don't do it. Now, as far as my characters, that I would say compares to me is Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller was was a man, a family man, but he had the struggles of normal things, of going through normal processes, because since he was so smart, a lot of times he let that high intelligence get in the way of trusting a process. And what I mean by that is he was a person who hopped from job to job. Um, he was an inventor, good inventor, great. But with great inventors, he could not stay stagnant. He couldn't trust the process. And what I mean by he bounced from job to job was he worked after getting kicked out from Harvard twice, by the way, twice, because he could not handle the strict learning schedule. He couldn't handle it, and he kept drinking and smoking, partying, doing the whole, you're not supposed to do all that. But he couldn't get with the strict schedule of learning. So after Harvard, from getting expelled twice, he bounced from job to job. He worked at a warehouse and in a meat plant. He also started a business with his family, a stockade building system that failed. Besides that, he worked during the World War. He found a good job within the Navy, but he didn't stick with it. So he just kept bouncing from job to job to job. That's the same thing in me. I have that in myself. I bounce from job to job. I worked from Wells Fargo. I worked at Foot Action. I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings. I worked at Outback Steakhouse. Just finding different jobs because of money. Because the money is luring me in, not because of the passion. But now, for me, finding my passion within music, I still keep doing it over and over and over and over and over. And even if I get a job, I'll link that job to my music. If that job may not specifically be pertaining to music, but I will use the money that I get from it and put forth into music. Now, the two things I would ask Buckminster Fuller is as to why didn't you early on just use one of those jobs to fund your invention, to fund what it is that you really wanted to do. And the second question I would ask Buckminster Fuller is, why did you become a family man before trying to focus on your goals when you had the ability to do so? Why? Why not be the inventor first and do what you got to do? That's what the questions I would have about Mr. Fuller. But I can relate to you, man. I can very much relate to you. And I like Buckminster Fuller. Because at the end, he prospered with finding a good job, being an inventor, and becoming rich. Not because of the money, but because of the passion. Remember that, passion.